Ford is revving up the Raptor pickup truck with a new Raptor R model that's powered by a 700 horsepower supercharged V8, making it the most powerful truck Ford has ever made. I'm Fox News Auto's editor, Gary Gastilew, and with me in the Fox Garage to talk about it is Ford Performance Chief Engineer, Carl Widman. Welcome back.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks for having time with me today to talk about what is a crazy fast truck.
And this truck is an evolution of the regular Raptor that's already got a 450 horsepower turbocharged V6. That's plenty powerful, and the truck's plenty fast. Besides the engine, we'll get to that in a second. What else is different about the Raptor R?
I think the big thing we did for it is to get the torque to the ground. We modified the front driveline system, so the axles are upgraded in the front to put all that extra power that's coming out of the 5.2, both torque and horsepower. So we're up to 640 foot-pounds of torque, so another 130 and another 250 horsepower. So just making sure, as always in Ford Performance, we want to make sure it's just not an advertised number, that you get it when you drive it. So that was a big upgrade functionally. And then we made it kind of a blackout package, right? So we took a lot of the exterior trim stuff and used black on it, and some subtle orange accents for the R badging. And then to kind of say it's different, we increased the height of the hood vent on it to kind of send a message that there's something different under the hood. But still, from an overall perspective, you can hear it more when it comes, right? So it's a unique exhaust system on it, and good thing we have quiet mode on it, because it is all its V8 proudness when you light it off in the neighborhood on the way to work.
Now that engine, it's a truck version of the 5.2 liter supercharged V8 that you already have in the Mustang Shelby GT500. That one's called the Predator, by the way. I'm interested to know if this one has a nickname, but also what changes were made to the engine to make it ready for a truck.
So we changed the exhaust manifolds, right? So we have a more heavy-duty exhaust manifold to go in the truck application. We've tweaked out the oil pan, so a new aluminum cast oil pan, and then, of course, a totally new engine calibration to go along with it. We did take the opportunity to make the supercharger pulley a little bit smaller, so we can spin the supercharger more in this application. But it really revolved around getting a calibration that's set up for a truck and meets the truck durability standards. From the overall motor, it's still a fantastic motor. For 100 pounds, you get 250 horsepower, right? So just a real power dense monster. Because when you're off-roading, you really want a light truck. That's what we've benefited a lot from the Raptor coming off an F-Series. It's all aluminum, and that sprightliness, or the ability to jump it off the ground and drive the front end in as a heavy motor. With only 100 pounds, we don't really change that dynamic that much, so it still has that capability to fly. You just get there a lot faster.
Does this version of the engine have a different cool nickname?
No, we kept the engine the same. We always still call it a Predator when we talk about it, or we call it the 5.2 supercharger. We didn't change its kind of nomenclature from how we refer to it around the shop.
Now, the Raptor already has a great suspension system, a lot of wheel travel, the computer-controlled shock absorbers that allows it to drive at very high speeds across the desert. You can only go so fast in a pickup truck, though. I don't think anybody's going to be doing 150 miles an hour in this. I mean, 100's fast enough, and you can already do that in the V6. So what's the difference in the driving experience going with the Raptor R? Is it just about that acceleration, or is there something else that's better than the regular Raptor?
Yeah, so it's really about that acceleration. The thing that you get to the speed so much quicker, right? And the symphony of noise it makes as you get there always puts a smile on your face. So our customers have always been requesting to get a V8 supercharged into the Raptor. So when we go talk to the enthusiasts at Carlisle, wherever, I always get questions of when you bring back a supercharged V8. So it really fits that segment of customer who wants it all, right? So from a performance perspective, 90% of the people will never push the limits of the 3.5 V6 turbo, but the people who want that little extra to really push it and push it quick, you'll notice that capability right off the bat when you get in it. And then what's also kind of fun about it, it's got so much power in the back end. Uh, as you can see, you can put up humongous rooster tails in deep, deep sand. It is really a blast, and you can actually control with the throttle a lot more on the 5.2, and really cut some great dune riding with it, just with driving it with the accelerator, even in too high. So it's just a phenomenal amount of power you can put down with it. And that
Now,
really comes about because we've gotten the leaf springs gone in the Gen 3. So in 21, with getting the leaf spring out of there and putting the 5 link in with those, 1 meter long, humongous trailing arms, we can control the axle. And that's big why we've got the ability now to put that much power into the back end of the truck. Without that, you would have hopped all over the place. So the suspension we did really enabled us to take that extra step. For a lot of people who've always been desiring a V8 in the Raptor, to now offer that to them and really bring that to them. And I think they're going to be tremendously excited.
coil springs on the Raptor and the Raptor are in the rear. That's the first time for the F-150, at least until the F-150 Lightning electric truck came along. Another truck
Mm-hmm.
that's got that, though, and also a very powerful supercharged V8 with 702 horsepower is the Ram 1500 TRX, which is clearly this truck's main competitor. You couldn't have got 2 or 3 more horsepower out of this just to claim the bragging rights. Was that not a big deal for you?
It's not really a big deal, right? I think it always comes back around. We like round numbers, right? And then you can have bagging rights on the horsepower, but it really comes down. We're really focused on pushing the Raptor to that pinnacle, right? So that's why we gave it the R nomenclature. And then from that perspective, when you get it in the off-road experience, it is just a phenomenal off-roading truck. And then that's our focus, right? From that perspective, is really making the best Raptor we can make.
Now, this is the most powerful gas-powered pickup you've ever made. That F-150 Lightning is available with a 580 horsepower all-electric powertrain. How soon before we see something like the Raptor treatment applied to an electric Ford truck?
Yeah, we always keep our options open. So I think we were out in the community talking to a lot of our customers through the summer, and so we're always looking for where our enthusiasts are going and what they're thinking.
All right, Carl Widman, Ford Performance Chief Engineer. Thanks for joining us today to talk about the new Raptor R. And to read more about it and for all the latest automotive news, head on over to foxnewsautos.com.